Welcome to my talk, Self-Improvement. It's supposed to hurt. Today's presentation is almost entirely based on experience. I'm Wayne, and I'd like to share some thoughts and opinions with you. Imagine yourself just starting out at exercising. You're doing a workout, you're getting those reps in, you keep lifting until you can't anymore. Then you move on to another exercise so your lifting muscles can get a break. But once you finish that other exercise, you return to those same reps you just stopped. You keep lifting until you can't anymore. Maybe you do a few intervals like this until your workout is complete and you can go home and shower. How do those lifting muscles feel the next day? Sore, that's how. I myself can confirm that after a really good workout, you might find it impossible to reach the top of your head to shampoo it. How am I supposed to reach all the way up there? But as any gym rat will tell you, feel that burn. No pain, no gain. Every time you do this, your achy lifting muscles will heal up stronger than they were before you worked them out. This is the fundamental idea underlying all forms of self-improvement, regardless of whether that improvement is in a physical, mental, or emotional domain. It's all a kind of exercise. Doing it right hurts, and if you don't overdo it, you'll be stronger when you recover. Let's continue to examine the physical domain first because it's the easiest to understand. Have you ever had a job that required you to be on your feet all day? If you have, you'll be familiar with the adjustment period you put your body through in order to survive it. Sure, you'll buy appropriate shoes if you don't already have them, but this won't entirely deal with the pain in your heels, your legs, your hips, or your back at the end of the day when you first start this standing job. After a couple weeks, though, you'll find standing isn't really hurting you anymore. You'll have hardened to it. Had you abandoned that job before you hardened to it, you would not have made yourself any stronger. But by enduring the initial pain, you will have put yourself through a form of physical self-improvement. You will have made yourself stronger. No pain, no gain. Now let's examine the mental domain. It's also pretty easy to understand. I have a Bachelor of Science degree and a Master of Science degree. I earned my master's later in life when I was already a family man. In order to complete all the requirements, I had to make sacrifices from the parts of my life I really rather like. Fewer trips into nature, fewer days to pursue my hobbies, fewer opportunities to see friends or family. And when the rest of my people went on a fun adventure, it hurt like hell to have to say, no, I have to complete a project for my master's. It hurt every time I had to say goodnight to my family, only to stay up extra hours completing an assignment. It hurt every time I had to watch my wife deal with the kids solo so I could stay focused on my program. But now I have a whole new profile of talents and abilities which I've been able to leverage in improving my family's economic situation. No pain, no gain. The domain that's hard to picture for this introspection is the emotional. I'll first place us in the context of life partnership to facilitate clarity, because I think most people will be able to draw parallels from their personal experience. Have you ever battled with harmful compulsions in a relationship? Your partner tells you they plan to go out with friends. Having a good time with friends is an uplifting experience everyone should be entitled to enjoy. But when you hear this, maybe your mind is transported to a quantum world where you are experiencing the fear of everything happening simultaneously that could possibly happen when your partner is out. They could lie and cheat. They could be abducted and harmed. Or they could secretly leave and never come back. You may feel compelled to interfere in your partner's plans, either by inserting yourself into them, ostensibly for their own protection, but actually due to your own insecurities. Or you may feel compelled to do battle until your partner changes their mind and you experience this as a crisis averted. In fact, there are many common opportunities for emotional self-improvement. Some people get so frustrated they throw things. Some people yell and curse if they bump their heads. Yet others will scream angrily in the car at the tiniest perceived slight. It is well established that we humans can experience automatic emotional reactions to myriad stimuli. Some of those stimuli can trigger us to respond reflexively, but for most of us, that reflexive response will initially include destructive or self-destructive elements. Usually the sequence is perceive stimulus, emotionally react, outwardly respond. And before we become truly self-aware, that outward response is directly driven by prior emotional reactions. But if we insert a brief reflection between the emotional reaction and the outward response, we can choose to reprogram ourselves to control our response so it can be productive and supportive rather than destructive. You pause to breathe and think about how you should respond. The first time you separate your outward response from your emotional reaction, you might be surprised by how much it hurts inside. It will burn you up. You will feel like part of you is dying inside when you refrain from responding or when you respond in a way that does not initially come naturally to you. That's because part of you is. You're finally actively weeding out the bad stuff from future you. The second time you separate your response from your reaction, it will probably still hurt, but it will hurt a lot less. Not only will none of your original fears from the first time have come to pass, but your subconscious will also remember that you caused less or no drama among your loved ones. So it may still hurt like any other workout, but like any other workout, you'll start seeing those gains. The pain inside you will turn out to have been worth it, and the people around you will benefit greatly from your improved emotional strength, the strength they actually deserve out of you. Make no mistake, self-improvement is a form of gardening. You are the combination of a garden plot and everything that grows in it. You must weed out the parts that are bad for yourself, which often hurts, in order to make space for the best parts of future you to grow in. Intentional selectivity results in the garden with the highest level of health and the most productive output. And after each gain you make, the next gain hurts a little less. Your loved ones will enjoy and appreciate you more, and your children will have higher trajectories if you take seriously the responsibility of self-improvement. No pain, no gain.